Hi, welcome back to the A to Z of Taming Tantrums. So I hope you've been filling your B for buckets with your kids. I hope that's going well. This week we're going to talk about the letter C, and C is for calm, as in calming down. Now, I know that this is the easiest thing for me to say. I'm laughing because it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Toddlers meltdown all the time. And I think the biggest challenge of being a parent of toddlers is not to melt down along with them, isn't it? I certainly did. When my kids were little, that's what it looked like in our house because the meltdowns were happening all day long. It's hard to stay calm because toddlers are often melting down about something that seems absolutely ridiculous to us. But you know what? It's not ridiculous to them, and we have to honor that. Like cutting the toast the wrong way and breaking the banana and stirring the yogurt. Definitely don't stir the yogurt. I remember one day when my child fell to the ground after I did that because, then the blueberries weren't covered anymore. Right. So he was on the floor and I was looking at him and I'm like, my child is an absolute mess right now because he can see the blueberries. And it took every ounce of everything I had to stay calm, but I'm actually asking you to do that. Because when our child is losing their marbles, when they're melting down, they've been taken over by their fight or fight response. We need to understand that. That's this part of the brain at the back. We call it the reptilian part of the brain, and I do write a lot about this in my book if you want more information about that. So that part has taken over them. If that part also takes over us, we can't help our children, and the tantrum will often last longer. So the really critical thing, like I can't emphasize this enough, is when our child is losing it and they're upset, we have to stay calm so they can make this transition from being in fight or flight to rational. And rational means they can think, and I mean a 1 to 4-year-old is not going to think a lot about how they feel, but they'll think a little bit. And we can certainly think about what is the right thing to do right now. So the steps to calming down, the first thing is to have a word, a trigger word that will help you to just stop and realize that you're about to lose it. Mine is freeze, because then I know when I say freeze, oh right, I'm about to lose my mind. The next thing is your body needs to move. So do you need to do something with your hands? Do you need to tense and then relax? Do you need to walk around a little bit? I'll often just say to the kids, Mommy needs a timeout. I'm going to the next room. I'll be right back. Assuming they're safe and they're not going to get into trouble while I'm gone. The next thing is to breathe, because you need to get the breath in to make that transition from your thinking brain to the back brain. After you've done that, I want you to ask yourself this question: what does my child need the most? Because often, you're connected with your child and you'll know what is the answer to that. They need food, hugs, skills like on how to handle their own big feelings. And the process of you calming down is going to teach them how to do it. And that's the most valuable way to do that. So what does my child need the most? Answer that. Take a minute and answer that question and do your very best to answer, like to fulfill that need. Think of phrases that you can use to connect with your child and so your child feels like supported through this tantrum. And then the next thing is you reevaluate. After this meltdown has happened, ask yourself, what did I do great? Where did I maybe could do better? And what's the plan moving forward? So having an action plan for calming down is the best way to make this happen. And you can use a plan for your child too. So make your plan, use that in front of your child, give your child a plan too, and try and follow it every time. So when you have a meltdown, you know that it's not going to be as difficult because you can do this. I know that that is a lot of information. I did actually devote an entire section of my ebook to it, so I invite you to my website to find out more there. I also did write quite a few articles at YummyMummyClub.ca, so search for those on that website. And I do have an app because phrases are often little reminders that we can use to calm the tantrums. So, lots of resources there if you need them. Now, I hope you stay tuned because next week is the letter D, and we're going to talk about de-escalating a tantrum. There are some little tricks you can do to make those stop before they even get going. So I hope you've subscribed because that next one will come right into your inbox. And do comment. I want to hear from you. What do you need in your parenting life with toddlers? Make sure you ask your questions, and I can address those as we carry on. click here to subscribe.